So I wanted to do a quick installation of our rapid release kit on our Chillout Systems Pro Touring shirt. It can be a little confusing because we have some extra parts that we added in here to kind of prevent any sort of kinking, which seems to be everyone's biggest trouble with our system. Really, the only problem that we really have is flow issues that are related to the lines getting caught in seat belts and in between seats. So with our rapid release kit, I'm going to walk you through what's in here real quick. Pop this out. We have everything you need to connect it from obviously to the shirt and into the car itself. So what we're going to start on first here is getting our rapid release on our shirt. So these shirts come straight from our manufacturer with the tubes that are already on here. They're about 20 inches long. Might sound crazy because I know these are very expensive shirts, but we are going to take and cut this tubing off at about 1.5 inches from the shirt. So you can see right there, keep this as kind of short as you can. The reason why we're taking these tubes off is we've included longer tubes, but not just longer, they're stainless steel reinforced tubes that have, you know, normal tubing on the outside, but they're stainless steel springs inside. And what those are gonna do is keep you from having any issues with kinking. You can completely bend these in half and try to squish them, sit on them, whatever you do, it's not gonna stop the flow. So it's important to make sure that you have these springs all the way at the end here. So with this kit, we have all your spare parts in this little baggie here. And what you'll wanna do is, we've got two different options with the barrel connectors. We've got 1/4 to 1/4 inch, and then we have for some other brands of shirts, because these kits, obviously people buy our kits and use them on other brands of shirt, we have a 5/8 to 1/4. But for this kit, all you're gonna need is the 1/4 to 1/4, since our shirts are 1/4 inch and the tubes that we supply are 1/4 inch. So take these barrel connectors out. I find it's easier to go ahead and have a heat gun ready and to heat up these tubes that are on the shirt. It makes them a little bit more malleable, because these are a little tight compared to the tubes here that have the springs inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide these on to this barrel connector here, this barrel connector here. Now these should go right in. A little saliva helps too. And they should just slide right inside there like that. If they're too hard to put in, just add a little bit more heat. Just be careful not to melt them too badly. All right, and this is what it should look like. All right, and you know, you don't need to keep these this long. We added this much length because not everybody's car is the same. And you know, depending on where you're gonna put your adapter to plug in, so normally this is the side that would hook to your roll cage. So let's say this was going into your roll cage in your car. Obviously, if your tubes are coming out of your race suit, you wouldn't want to keep these at a 3-foot length. You know, you want to bring those down a little bit. So that's completely up to you, and that's why we give you the length. But it just quickly disconnects and connects with just 3 pounds of pressure. So, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take this sheathing. People always struggle with this one. So I'm going to show you kind of how the trick to do this. So we want to just take this, it's kind of like Chinese fingers, handcuffs, the way that they go on. Because once you slide it on, it's not coming off. So you got to just keep feeding it. And another trick is, you don't want to put this all the way. You want to leave a little bit of room in between these, so that, because we supplied you with the shrink. If you get it too far up there, it actually starts kind of hanging out the top. Now this shrink is got some great super strong glue inside. I'm just trying to make this look as good as we can, as clean as we can. Make sure your tubes are nice and flat in here, and they're not overlapping each other. And we're gonna go ahead and hit this with the heat gun. This is a really hot heat gun. I like to use really hot heat guns, but you gotta be very careful. It's easy to melt the sheathing if you hit it too hard with that heat. So really keep an eye on trying to stay away from the sheathing and focusing mainly on just the heat shrink itself. And now that we've got this done, I'm gonna move on to the fitting side, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of clean this up a little bit. We're just gonna take these down a notch. And then we have a larger piece of shrink here. And I like to use this big one because we have two options. We got a smaller piece in here as well, but I like to use this bigger one because it'll cover all the way up to the tubes here, or to the fittings here. Let me just slide these right on, like so. And then just make sure you get these up and around these fittings like that. And we'll go ahead and start to shrink this up. Okay. And as you can see, it's nice and finished. Everything's covered, fittings are covered. And the great part, like I said, about this shrink is it's got a lot of glue in it. So it's gonna keep everything in its place. It's not gonna come loose. And this is what your shirt should look like when it's finished with the rapid release. Again, you can extend this to any length you'd like, but this is nearly the full length. I cut off a little bit just to make it even. So the only thing you need to do on the car side of the installation is from your 6-foot or 10-foot hose that you purchased, they're automatically going to come with these male connectors, these CPC connectors. You're going to want to slide those right out. They come out pretty easily. Pull both of those out. And this is a hose I've used before, so it's got some coolant in it already. But what you're going to want to do is just slide these right over those prongs, just like so. And it's not really necessary, but we have it comes with some zip ties, and you can put those on there if you're just worried about them being secure. This isn't really gonna see any action in your car. This should go right against your roll bar, just like this. With these really strong zip ties that are gonna go around your roll bar, just like so. And then, there we go. Just like so. And you're gonna wanna use a pair of pliers to pull these as tight as you can. If you take the piece of this cover off this tape, it'll help not just keep it in place, but it'll help it keep from spinning around. It's a little bit of adhesive, but we found that just the plastic on the metal roll bar, it was just, sometimes it would give it a little bit of it was just too smooth, it was rolling around. So we added this adhesive. So with the padding and the adhesive now, this stays really rock solid. So it should be just as easy as this for you to take in and out from your car. One more option, not a lot of people use it, but it's one that we offer. We have, in place of the roll bar attachment, we have a flat mount as well. So you can just take off this rounded shaped roll bar attachment and add this flat mount. So if you want to hook it to the side of the seat or maybe the center console, that's another option. But most people use a roll bar, that's why we have it just pre-assembled that way. That's our rapid release kit.